So some tips on how I climbed my mountain. One of the motivational thoughts that gets me through some of my most challenging days is the thing that you are most scared of is what can set you free. So when I'm stopping and I'm not doing something, I'm like, all right, well, why am I stopping and why am I afraid of that? And let me turn that around into courage and let me just do it. Let me create some action steps to move forward. So for me, I had health challenges. Almost 20 years ago, I had a debilitating gut issue. I had Crohn's and colitis, and the doctors had told me I had 6 months to live. I didn't know I had a choice to live. And so luckily, I didn't give up and I had the right tools that were put in place for me. But it didn't just happen that way. I had to have some mind shifting and I had to reflect on what actually is going on right now. I just got some bad news. How am I going to process this? And sometimes when you get news, you have to upshift to keep going. And sometimes you have to downshift, taking a step back. I had to analyze, and overcome some limiting beliefs. My limiting belief at the time was I'm going to die in 6 months. I didn't know I could live. And so that's why I say natural health found me, because it showed me I can live, and I'm still here 20 years later. I had to recognize that I was in a crucial moment. So I was at a crossroads. I mean, I could live or die. And not everybody's is that dramatic, but this was my journey. And I share this because maybe you can take something away of where you are in your journey right now. But you have to recognize this crucial moment. And then, your influential awareness. This was key for me, is to recognize that I had opportunities present. My sister said, oh, there's a local herb shop in town. Maybe you can go there and talk to them. Maybe they have something for you. I was down to like 80 something pounds and I thought, oh, well, I need some bodybuilding herbs to pump me up, or I need something, because this was a whole new world to me. And the right person was put in front of me and listened to me. She took the time to listen to me. That's huge in coaching and what we do. But then she provided a solution that was customized to what I needed at that moment, at where I was in my journey, and provided me with opportunities that I then knew about. I had to seize the moment. So I had to create and choose this plan. I had to align with a path, because when you're sick and when you're working with clients, sometimes they have all of the stimuli coming in, a lot of people telling them what to do, how to do it. So what I had to do is I had to say, okay, I need to shut out the noise and decide what resonates with me. So when I'm working with clients, I tell them, I hear that you're all over the place. Just listen. What is your body telling you? Check in with yourself. What resonates with you? What aligns with you? It might be me. It might not be me. And that's okay, because I'm still helping somebody at the end of the day find what they need. That's why I do this. Having the action steps, so a strategy and a plan, but you cannot just have a plan. You have to commit, you have to comply, and you have to hold yourself accountable. You need measurable accountability, so you know that you're making progress, because a lot of times it's those small wins that get you through the day. It's not always the big thing at the end of, the big prize. It's the small wins that get you there. Doing a growth assessment. And in that growth assessment, I used to be petrified to speak in front of people. Now I can speak in front of 5,000, 10,000 people and not pass out. But when I was first doing it, I got up in front of my mom and said, hi, my name is Jennifer, and I passed out. I just was petrified. And so if I would have given up, I would have never known that it's a gift of mine. I love teaching. I love blending aromatherapy. I would have never embraced that. And then that would have been a talent of mine that was wasted. So we have to be able to tap into those hidden talents and desires and dreams. And some of those dreams are ones we didn't know we had that are still coming. The best is yet to come. Having an acceptance to learn to love yourself for who you are and where you are right now. Because when you can authentically align with yourself and you can authentically share with people, and that's where you're going to get big results. And then paying it forward. So my why is that my life was spared because I was meant to learn all of these lessons that I now can save somebody else. Because I do question, why was I saved over somebody else? Why me? But it's because I had this innate ability to listen and to use those tools and not just to take it and do nothing with it. So that's what fuels me. So with aromatherapy, this is how I do life, I do my health, really integrating this because it's so powerful from mind and body. So I accidentally discovered it, or it discovered me, but I explored it. So when you have those opportunities, you need to explore what's put in front of you. And so for me, what I do and when I'm helping my clients is I use the aromatherapy and the herbs to balance imbalances, but you're not always working on what's broken. You need to support what's right. So we strengthen our strengths and strengthen our weaknesses. And then the aromatherapy and the herbs together in unity, whether you're doing tinctures or flower essences or the whole herbs or supplements, is balancing the mind, the body, and our soul so we can authentically connect. We have this authenticity when our head, heart, and gut talks to each other and they like each other and they can communicate with each other. And that is the catalyst for change. So when we're talking motivation and mindset, aromatherapy taps in to that. It helps you to authentically align with yourself, providing you this valuable solutions. It's giving you these amazing benefits because when you smell an essential oil, and if you have an essential oil, I encourage you to grab it. So if you have your oil, you can grab it. And I like to smell it from the cap. So, you can smell what I have if you don't have one in front of you. And so when we do that and we're breathing that in through one scent, through one sniff, it is creating an influence. It's influencing our cells. It's influencing our body. So we're taking this scent in, going through the olfactory bulb so we can recognize it, and it goes to the brain. So your brain can assess, what is this going to do for me? And then it travels down to your gut brain. So your gut brain can take action. So it's this 1-2 punch. It happens integratively. It has to work together. We can't separate that. So you're getting physical, mental, emotional, energetic, spiritual, environmental support all at the same time. It's all simultaneously, not separated. So we have a lot of historical practices and uses. We have a lot more evidence-based research today than we had years ago. We used, in our ancient times with the Greeks and the Romans and the Egyptians, they did a lot more with the aromapsychology part of it. Then it kind of moved and morphed into more scientific and chemical and molecular aromatherapy. And then in the 20th century, we had more of this infusion of getting back to, all right, now we need to not just look at the science part, we need to look at the art part of that, of what is that doing for the mind, for our psyche. So your essential oils, they are liquid extracts from your plants. So plants in nature do something. Some of them attract bugs, some of them repel them. The oil that's in the plant is there to protect it, to defend, to heal it from injury, to help provide nutrients at a cellular level. So when we take that essence and create an essential oil with that, it's doing the same thing for us physiologically, psychologically, and biochemically. So we look at those plant signatures of like, what is it doing in its plant nature? And we translate that for our human and animal health that we're using it for. So we're looking at the personality. So lavender, we know, is very harmonizing. So it's going to bring harmony in the body. We know your helichrysum flowers, it's very strong and vulnerary properties. That means it's going to be wound healing. So if we have a wounded soul, a wounded ego, a wounded emotions, a wounded body of anywhere, that it's going to help with that. So we're looking again, physical, mental, emotional, everything simultaneous. And then we have that limbic activation, right? So we have the brain activation to assess, and then the gut is going to help us take action. So, common is lavender. People smell lavender and usually they relax. So that's the response that we're going to get from using it.